Between now and 2025, $5 billion would be contributed by donor countries to support education in disadvantaged countries.
Correspondent examines the take-home for Nigeria as Global Education Summit ends in London.
We are not aware of the so-called $875 million arms contract.
Federal government debunks alleged refusal of the sale of military weapons to Nigeria by the United States. Required peculiar storage condition. How prepared is the country for the expected next batch of COVID-19 vaccines?
These and other initiatives are to ensure that retired officers have rightful access to their entitlement.
Also tonight, prepare for retirement while in service. Head of service reminds civil servants. Good evening and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I am Jumwa Yusuf live in Abuja. Michael Olale will be joining me from Lagos. Now, the Global Education Summit has ended in the City of London with a firm declaration that no child should be left behind in the pursuit of education. The summit, which raised a record $4 billion from donors from the Global Partnership for Education, aimed at transforming the critical economic sector for millions of the world's most vulnerable children. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports on the major takeaways for Nigeria.
President Muhammadu Buhari was at the head of Nigeria's delegation to the two-day hybrid event that brought together leaders from governments, businesses, private foundations and development banks to commit funding and support to children's education in the low-income countries. In addition to the $4 billion pledge from donors, 19 heads of state and government committed to spending at least 20% of their national budgets on education. Nigeria in particular had exceeded that with her pledge to increase budgetary allocation to education by up to 50% over the next 2 years. But how significant is Nigeria's participation at the high-level global summit?
Between now and 2025, $5 billion would be contributed by donor countries to support education in disadvantaged countries. So it's very significant that Nigeria was there. Our president was also able to let the world know the situation vis-a-vis education in Nigeria, that parents appreciate the value of education and they make sacrifices to ensure that their children and world get education.
So the president got almost a louder claim from all world leaders in explaining exactly where Nigeria stands and how Nigeria intends to focus on this, because everybody realizes that the success of Nigeria really is the success of the rest of the black race. And because of that, Nigeria have been offered a $120 million line with which we can complement what we are doing, because everybody's impressed with what we have done and the track record of what we have achieved, but more importantly, what we are targeting to do.
Apart from putting education at the top of the international agenda, the summit also succeeded in highlighting its role in accelerating the fight to end poverty, minimizing criminal activities, enhancing global security, as well as improving health outcomes.
As we walk away from London, we're going to carry these programs as approved or as agreed with and tweak them as they reflect on the Nigerian realities and make the adjustments that are necessary where we can. The plans we have for girl-child education, the plans we have for bringing out-of-school children, the plans we have for growing tertiary assets, the plans we have for ensuring outcomes.
To develop education in about 5 states. $150 million is going to be advanced to Nigeria in the immediate. If you are not there, you may not be part of that kind of assistance. So it's a good thing that Nigeria was there.
And as Nigeria counts its blessings from the Global Education Summit just concluded here in London, President Muhammadu Buhari will in the next few days undertake his scheduled medical checkup before returning to Nigeria. From London, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Thank you, Adam Musambo. The federal government has dismissed reports making the rounds that lawmakers in the United States have opposed the sale of military hardware to Nigeria. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed cleared the air at a briefing with members of the All Information and Culture Press Corps. Anthony Fossen reports.
The Information and Culture Minister, who described the said blocking of the sale of attack helicopters by the U.S. government to Nigeria by citing poor human rights record, expressed surprise as no such deal exists.
There's no contract between the federal government of Nigeria and the United States of America today, apart from the 12 Super Tucano, of which 6 have been delivered, and we are quite satisfied with the progress and the cooperation we have received from the government of the U.S. on this issue. So we are not aware of the so-called $875 million arms contract for some helicopters, which purportedly is being withheld, or which purportedly some lawmakers in the U.S. trying to persuade the president of the U.S. not to honor.
Lai Mohammed used the opportunity to appeal to Nigerians to discard such reports as they are mere diversionary and deliberately created to distract government. He maintained that the relationship between Nigeria and the United States has remained cordial and that the United States is ever willing to support Nigeria in overcoming its challenges. In Abuja, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army is upscaling the training and physical fitness activities for troops to enhance their combat efficiency. This was the thrust of the 2021 Guards Brigade Obstacle Challenge. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
These are troops of the Guards Brigade, vested with the mandate of keeping an eagle eye on the president, his family and the Federal Capital Territory, participating in a periodic obstacle competition. The drill, a critical aspect of military training, enhances troops' alertness and combat survival, in line with the Chief of Army Staff vision of having a professional army ready to accomplish assigned tasks in a joint environment in defense of the country.
This activity will also further entrench the core values of the Nigerian Army for sustained land operations against banditry and other forms of criminality in either single service or joint environments.
With different obstacles in place, the exercise also evaluates troops' confidence amidst challenges.
A display of remarkable resilience, reinforced brotherhood and team spirit as the basis to prevail regardless of the challenges in the field.
176 Guards Battalion Gogolada emerged winners of the obstacle challenge. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Still stalking security, the Sokoto State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested Bello Galadima, suspected to be an informant to bandits terrorizing parts of Sokoto State. The suspect and 2 others were paraded before newsmen in Sokoto. Dalhatu Abdullahi has more.
The NSCDC Commandant Muhammad Saleh Dada said the suspected informant Bello Galadima, who hails from Hamma Ali village of Kware local government, has been on wanted list of all security operatives in the state following his link to banditry and kidnapping in the state. He said the suspect was apprehended by officers on surveillance patrol along with 2 others, Imrana Aliyu and Muhammad Sani, at Aliyu Jodi area after a credible intelligence report was received.
Our man will continue the investigations, and we have a list of other non-bandits in Hamali. Our men are going to spring into action, and inshallah we'll try as much as possible to apprehend the remaining.
The NSCDC commandant said all the suspects would be taken to court after investigations and appeal to the general public to be vigilant and report any suspicious movement. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Now, the security of lives of the people of Gombe State is far greater than the political ambition of any individual. Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya said this while addressing the people of Ako local government area who paid him a courtesy visit at the government house, Gombe. Emmanuel Akila reports.
The contingent from Ako local government area is made up of the traditional institution, politicians and government functionaries, as well as youth and women groups. The chairman of Ako local government area, Abubakar Barambu, informed the governor that they were at government house to appreciate the dividends of democracy brought to the area by the Inuwa Yahya administration.
Ranging from construction of roads and many more, especially the intended construction of General Hospital Kumo.
Governor Inuwa Yahya thanked them for the solidarity, saying without peaceful coexistence, no such developmental strides can be achieved.
All of us are watching and yearning for delivery of service to the people. You cannot achieve that without security and without commitment and loyalty of the people.
The people of Ako local government area pledged their total loyalty to the Inuwa Yahya administration. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
To other matters now, the National Center for Women Development, in collaboration with Country Associates Network, has organized gender policy training to 40 security officers. Director General, National Center for Women Development, Dr. Asabe Velita Bashir, said the meeting is to provide an in-depth knowledge in addressing gender issues in the security sector. The 5-day meeting to the gender desk officers in the security sector is expected to effectively improve gender issues towards national development. To electoral matters now, the queues that usually characterize the continuous voter registration centers in the past have disappeared, fate attributed to introduction of technology. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who inspected some centers in the Federal Capital Territory, is happy with the process. Timothy Mayor Ogidi reports.
Liberia is in the process of migrating from manual voters register to online register, so on a study tour to Nigeria. The visit is timely, so the INEC chair of Nigeria takes its Liberian counterparts on a walk to the Federal Capital Territory office of INEC for on-the-spot scene.
That is the option of physical registration in addition to the completion of the online registration. So far, so good. You don't see the kind of crowd that we used to see during registration.
In that the Electoral Commission of Nigeria has invested much in the technology. Another lesson learned is that the earlier you start, the better your process.
More than 1.1 million pre-online registrations recorded in 4 weeks and still counting. Now time for the physical aspect for those that have completed the pre-online registration.
It's very efficient and very fast. You will not waste time, you will do it as you come, no delay, no waste of time actually.
So now, both pre-online and the physical aspects of the continuous voter registration exercise are going on simultaneously, and it will end on the last day of June 2022. Mayor Ogede, NTA News.
To political matters, the All Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee says the party's world, local government and state congresses will hold as scheduled. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Committee. Addressing journalists at the Buhari House, National Secretariat of APC, member of the Caretaker Committee and Chairman APC Constitution Review Committee, Professor Tahir Mamman, appealed to party faithful to conduct themselves in line with the party's guidelines. He assured that the Governor Malab Buni-led Caretaker Committee of APC has put in place all machineries for hitch-free congresses across the country.
Our congresses are on course. It will hold tomorrow. So we want to assure team members of the APC across the country to come out and elect officers at the ward level.
Similarly, John James Akpa Odoedehe, National Secretary, Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of APC, reminded party faithful of the resolution of the party's NEC meeting held on the 8th December 2020 that all pending litigations instituted by members against the party should be withdrawn forthwith, and going forward, no member should institute matters against the party without exhausting the internal mechanism for conflict resolution as enshrined in the party's constitution. In a statement, he warned that all activities that may be carried out by persons to put the party and its officers in bad light before, during, and after the congresses should be jettisoned, adding that all activities or processes leading up to the congresses and thereafter which do not have the approval of the Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee are exercised in futility, and that any purported parallel Congress, parallel party organ, and a parallel party office is a nullity. The APC in the statement promised to deploy the full weight of the law as stipulated in Section 21D of the party's constitution on anyone who perpetrates such unlawful acts, and also on their sponsors. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
The Court of Appeal, Abuja Division, says a High Court of the Federal Capital Territory lacks jurisdiction to look into political party matters outside the FCT, setting aside a June 9, 2021 judgment of the High Court of the FCT, which removed the Anambra State PDP executives. The three-man panel of justices led by Justice Stephen Ada held that the High Court of the FCT should not have concerned itself with matters outside its jurisdiction. The trial court had in its earlier ruling ordered the PDP to adopt only the list of inaugurated party officials and delegates that emerged from the Anambra PDP congresses conducted on November 28, 2017 and December 1, 2017, and validated by the Senator Grace Bent Ward Congress Appeal Panel report and the Ukaro Local Government Appeal Panel. The report. President Muhammadu Buhari has extended station to His Majesty King Mohammed V of Morocco on the 22nd anniversary of his ascension to the throne. In a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President wishes the King good health and prosperity, saying His Majesty's reign has witnessed very impressive economic and social development in Morocco, also contributing to regional peace, stability and development. He said Nigeria values the excellent fraternal relations between the two countries and looks forward to building on the significant progresses so far achieved under the renewed bilateral relations between them. You're watching NTA News. Time now to take some messages. The news continues shortly. Don't go away.
We don't almost reach, Abby. Okay. Guys, the mechanic is almost here.
Madam!
What do you think is wrong?
Madam, no be smart way they want to use your bike. Carburetor and radiator, you don't pafuka. If you want to fix that, 50,000.
I guess I have no choice. Give me size 10 Allen Q.
Madam, the top don't spoil now. You need to buy new one. New one is 16,000.
Thanks for the help, guys. I'll be on my way now. Renting your tools.
Terabyte of data for just 100,000 naira. Dial *777#.
Take this, Mom. You will need it. My tongue is craving something. That's what it is. Twisco. That's my favorite.
Twisco chocolate drink powder is a unique blend of cocoa, milk, and malt fortified with Enafort, a special blend of vitamins and minerals that helps give kids the vitality they need for an action-packed day.
Mommy, let me go.
Twisco, power your dream.
I did look for pension fund administrator. We soft, make sense, we care for me. Shy. No be the time when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. Oh
over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Hands. Whether they belong to the young or old, Christian, or Muslim, no matter who you are, your hands are powerful. To stop the spread of COVID-19. H. Have your hands washed or sanitized frequently. A. Always cough or sneeze into your elbow. N. No going out without a face mask. D. Distance of at least 2 arms length should be maintained. S. Stay indoors and self-isolate if you feel sick. Hands.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets. With Panadol's Optizol formula, the tablet absorbs quickly and starts providing fast and effective pain relief you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets.
You're welcome back. Nigeria will no longer tolerate the excesses of labor recruiters who have continued to mortgage the future of their citizens for their selfish desires. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, said this in a message to the 2021 World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, organized by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP. Some projects which include strengthening Nigeria's criminal justice response to trafficking in persons and smuggling of migrants, as well as strengthening trans-regional action and responses against the smuggling of migrants, were unveiled to mark the day. The Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 has warned political parties against non-compliance with COVID-19 protocols in the conduct of all political events in the country. The warning is coming on the heels of recent confirmation of more cases of the Delta variant of COVID-19 in several states and the rising number of infections and hospitalization across the country. Chairman, Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, in a statement, cautions that political gatherings serve as super spreader events for the transmission of COVID-19 infection in the communities and must be carefully controlled with the laid down protocols to reduce the risks of COVID-19 infection among the vulnerable population. All political parties are therefore directed to institute public health and social measures in all locations where political events will occur, using INEC's policy on the conduct of political events and the Code of Conduct for voters and political parties within the context of COVID-19. These measures include mandatory use of face masks for everyone, provision of hand hygiene facilities including soap and water, as well as hand sanitizers, sufficient ventilation of enclosed venues to be used at 50% capacity, and observance of physical distancing in every gathering. Still talking health, effective public-private partnership in hospital services remains paramount in building a healthy nation through an operational health insurance system. This was the position of the Executive Director, National Health Insurance Scheme, Mohammed Sambo, during an oversight visit to Kalki Hospital, Abuja. Elizabeth Omori tells us more.
Access to quality health care, medical experts say, depends largely on the availability of hospital services, affordable and open to the people. To make health services available to Nigerians, brought about this visit by the helmsman of the NHIS to assess critical hospital services.
A committee has been set up which has worked on the revision of the tariff, and the International Labour Organization ILO is studying what we have done, and very soon NHS will come up with an improved tariff. We are discussing with the manufacturers of drugs in Nigeria, who have agreed to partner with the National Health Insurance Scheme to produce drugs for the consumptions of the enrollees.
Managing Director of the hospital, Dr. Adamu Ono, who highlighted grey areas, noted that health insurance fraud and delay in payments by HMOs are still concerns for the enrollees and hospitals.
We studied our processes and we suggested to the software developer this is the best solution in tackling these issues within a hospital setting.
Consolidation of primary and secondary care and data surveillance were some of the areas brought to the fore. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Now, following the exhaustion of Nigeria's initial supply of nearly 4 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine, Nigeria is expecting to receive nearly 8 million additional doses of COVID-19 vaccine by the end of August, which signals the resumption of vaccination in the country. Out of the expected vaccines is the Moderna donated by the U.S. government via the COVAX facility. Questions begging for answers include: how prepared is Nigeria in terms of the logistics storage condition and other requirements aimed at ensuring quality vaccination? Joining me now in the studio for the answers is the Executive Director and Chief Executive, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shoaib. You're welcome to Network News.
Thank you for having me.
You know, there's a, with special vaccine, shortage of vaccines around the world and immunization going on, what are we expecting now with the new Moderna being given to us?
Yeah, thank you. So in less than 72 hours, Nigeria will be receiving up to 4 million doses of the Moderna vaccine. And we're excited that this will be another opportunity for us to advance the protection of Nigerians against the COVID-19 virus, especially the Delta variant of the virus. And we've been preparing for quite a long time. So some 3 months ago, even when we had no clue that we're going to receive either the Pfizer vaccine or the Moderna vaccine, the Presidential Steering Committee went ahead and obtained approval to procure up to 60 ultra-cold chain units. So all across the land, we've now started installing all this ultra-cold chain equipment so that we're able to keep these vaccines at the right temperature. You will recall that in some of the interviews we've had, that the Moderna vaccine, the Pfizer vaccines actually require ultra-cold chain, ultra-cold temperatures that range from minus 25 to minus 50 for the Moderna, and then as far as minus 80 degrees Celsius for the Pfizer vaccine. So we now have a situation where all across the states we do have this ultra-cold chain equipment, and we can store this vaccine, and it'll be ready for for administration as soon as next week. And of course, we're going to be having additional vaccines through the COVAX facility. We're getting additional Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines. We're also going to be getting the J&J vaccine by September. So pretty much we're ready, and we're going to be leveraging on the experiences that we've had from the first phase to now roll out very smoothly. And I've already started getting calls from governors who are really, really keen to make sure that Nigerians get the vaccines.
Okay, getting the vaccine, I would say Nigeria is very lucky indeed. And let's talk about the status quo, priority in view of reports that the Delta variant is affecting young people. The US and today the European Medicine Agency approved vaccine for children 12 to 18. What are we seeing in Nigeria, Kamel?
So right now we're gathering data on the occurrence of the Delta variant in the population. We're yet to see those types of data that show that kids under 18 years are being affected. So for Nigeria, based on the evidence that we have, we're going to be focusing again on people that are 18 years and above, while we continue to work with the NCDC to analyze the data. Now, if the data points contrary to what we're seeing, then of course we'll now have to take a decision about vaccinating those under 18. But for now, based on the epidemiology, we're going to be focusing on those that are 18 years and above.
Okay, tell me, what's the advantage for those who have been vaccinated and disadvantage for those who have not?
Absolutely. It's showing that even in the United States, up to 9 with COVID-19 are those who are unvaccinated. When you look at the data here in Nigeria as well, especially in the epicenter of our pandemic in Nigeria, in Lagos, most of the people who are coming down with COVID-19 are those who have not been vaccinated. So the picture is very, very clear. This is why, you know, we continue to pass the message across to Nigerians that it is better to take the vaccine and not wait until you are in hospital before you start asking for an opportunity to take the vaccine. And we've seen how after the first phase of vaccination, we started getting calls from Nigerians asking if the vaccines were available. When all this time, these vaccines were available and we reached out, we continue to communicate. So I am happy to now, announce that the Presidential Steering Committee under the leadership of the SGF has now negotiated more vaccines for Nigerians, and we're going to be seeing Nigerians queuing up to get these vaccines all across the land.
Dr. Faisal Shaib is the Executive Director and Chief Executive National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Thank you so much for shedding light on the new vaccine coming in, and indeed we are lucky. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
now,
much.
moving on, farmers in Bauchi State are hopeful of recording bumper harvest this year based on benefits of various federal and state government programs aimed at boosting agricultural activities that have started manifesting. Awal Abdullahi reports that the farmers expressed the optimism at the flag of the distribution of farm inputs for maize farmers in Bauchi.
Since coming to power in 2015, Muhammadu Buhari-led administration has introduced different intervention programs aimed at revamping the agricultural sector. One of such programs is distribution of farm input to maize farmers in Bauchi State under the Central Bank of Nigeria Anchor Borrowers Program for wet season maize farming. The scheme is part of federal government's effort toward diversifying the economy and assist farmers to boost agricultural activities. Some beneficiaries commended the federal government for the intervention programs and expressed optimism that the assistance will accord the maize farmers an opportunity to record bumper harvest. Speakers at the program dwelled on the objectives of the agri-intervention programs of the federal government and charged beneficiaries to reciprocate the gesture by using the inputs properly and ensuring prompt payment to enable other farmers' benefits.
We're expected in each of the hectare to have no less than 60 bags of maize. If you can take it statistically in Bauchi, 2,300 hectares, if you can cultivate it and apply the required inputs, you will get no less than 138,000 bags of maize in Bauchi alone.
We are expecting about 5,700 farmers to be benefited under this program. However, this is the first instance that they are to enjoy. Later on, the remaining farmers, they come.
2,300 hectares of land has been provided for pilot program of wet season maize farming in Bauchi State. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
Farmers, following the second round of the planting season, farmers in Akwa Ibom State are complaining over the scarcity of fertilizer. They are therefore appealing for government's intervention to sustain the drive towards food security and sufficiency in the state and the country. Evelyn Badu Eko reports.
As the second planting season begins in the south-south region of the country, farmers in Akwa Ibom State have expressed worry over the non-availability and high cost of fertilizer in open markets since the inception of the first planting season in March.
But with the withdrawal of the subsidy by the federal government, farmers now depends on getting it on their own directly in the markets.
I want to appeal to the federal government to please see to it that we are taken into consideration because we've not gotten it.
We don't have enough.
in our state, in Akwa Ibom State.
The bag I lend is 7,000, 8,000, but I don't buy in bags. I buy in small quantity.
While the farmers affirm tremendous support of the state government in the areas of farm inputs, especially improved varieties of seedlings to support cash crops like oil palm and cocoa, not much has been done by the government to enable farmers access fertilizer through the fertilizer blending plant in the state at a subsidized rate, as a resort to buying at exorbitant prices in open markets and augmenting with organic manure. The federal government recently assured of 1 million tons of fertilizer to meet demands of the 2021 planting season in the country. In Uyo, Evelyn Badruepu, NTA News.
Still talking agriculture as we join Michael in our Lagos studio, who is standing by with more reports. Hello, Michael. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Jumai. The Lagos state government is tapping the huge potentials in agriculture to increase food production and create jobs for its teeming unemployed youths. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu affirms this at the flag off of Agriculture Enterprise Activation Program. Samuel Johnson reports that at least 3,000 youth, women, and vulnerable persons benefit directly, apart from the multiplier effects.
With the myriad of problems typical of a modern city and being a former capital of the nation, Lagos State is tackling headlong its population and infrastructure challenges through strategic use of agriculture. This, the governor says, would make Lagos a reference point in food production. He explains that apart from over 200,000 jobs from the Imota Modern Rice Production Project, another 20,000 jobs are to be generated from the proposed Lagos Red Meat Production Ventures.
This is meant to attract the private sector participation in the value chain, which will stimulate local production and processing of meat. We don't want to leave this very important production line to some other part. We want to put our destiny to our own hands. And so we're starting this, with the private sector. We can ensure that we'll have the disease control under our care.
The governor urged beneficiaries of the empowerment program to ensure that quality food varieties are not only produced, but that the ventures in partnership with the federal government and the World Bank through the Appeals program will impact the economy positively. Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude and hope.
Empower a woman, you empower the whole nation. So this will give us opportunity to increase our stock and to serve the community better, and thereby improve on this food security situation.
Because one crate is 1 night, and the governor gave us 30 crates. That's a lot of money.
The empowerment cut across spheres of agricultural businesses. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
A central monitoring system that will assist government block leakages and ensure accountability in the gaming industry is to be established before the end of the year by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Senator George Akume, stated this at the maiden National Gaming Conference organized by the Commission in Lagos. Adeni Taiwo reports that the conference also called for the establishment of lottery industry dispute resolution mechanism.
Of the two-day National Game Conference is to, among others, promote responsible gaming, one that frowns at addiction among youth but seeks to develop the industry in such a way that there will be enhanced revenue generation for industry operators and the federal government. Towards realizing these objectives, the need for a central monitoring system is one of the issues of interest at the conference.
It will undoubtedly entrench transparency and accountability in the industry, thus making things a lot easier for all stakeholders.
We must enact a new law that is going to serve the government and serve the operators and serve the stakers as well.
We believe that this new law will lay to rest contentious matters and suffice to accommodate current or future technologies, advancement, and changes within the industry.
Conversations at the conference, which has as participants gaming operators, tax bodies, the EFCC, and regulatory authorities, also centered on the possibility of local technology and platforms for the Nigerian gaming industry, resolving issues of multiple taxation, forex for sports betting, and financial regulatory obligations of lottery operators.
Our continued joint effort to actualize the deployment of the central monitoring system this year will help shore up revenues and increase our impact in intervening in many giant and legacy projects across the country.
Although remittances from the lottery industry account for about 800 million naira infrastructural intervention in education, sports, and health sectors annually, stakeholders are convinced that more could be harnessed from the sector. In Lagos, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports with Jumai shortly after this break. Please stay.
The most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sports like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Dear compatriots, our country can be as great as we want.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground, and together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite and see each other not as adversaries, but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
You're welcome back. The Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, has reaffirmed the commitment of the federal government to prompt payment of salaries and the general welfare of workers. A statement from the office indicates that the leadership of the National Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria paid him a courtesy visit, while Idris noted that government is not oblivious of the importance of a well-motivated workforce. He emphasized that the federal government will continue to work assiduously to eliminate hitches that may occur in the system so that prompt payment of workers' salaries will be sustained. This Accountant General of the Federation congratulated the executive members of the National Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria on their victory at the elections and prayed that their tenure will be devoid of rancor and unnecessary conflicts. He advised the leadership of the association to focus on issues that promote unity and well-being of its members and the country at large. And to ensure befitting retirement for workers, the head of civil service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Esan, has re-echoed the need for civil servants to prepare for retirement while in service. She was speaking at a town hall meeting organized on effective pension administration in the public sector. Musa Abubakar reports.
Life after service and pension is a conversation every civil servant and labor union members are eager to have, just as grey areas continue to mount in the implementation of pension reform and concern over plight of pensioners. This interactive session, convened by the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, seeks to address challenges to effective pension administration in the public sector.
The Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation established a standing committee, provides the opportunity for critical stakeholders to meet and proffer solutions. These and other initiatives are to ensure that retired officers have rightful access to their entitlements.
Just a couple of weeks, the President gave this approval
approval of over 100 billion to the contributory pension scheme, and then part of which is being used now to settle some of the areas.
Now that we have this consequential adjustment, because a lot of these state pensioners, the bulk of their pension is coming from the states.
The focal point is to learn more about the workings of the pension reform and chart a way forward for civil and public servants to enjoy the fruit of their labor after service. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
For the federal budget to have greater impact on the citizens, the revenue challenge must be addressed. This was a takeaway at the Nigerian Prize for Leadership National Leadership Dialogue Series with the theme, Rethinking the Economy from Process to Funding. Budgeting for who? Hamman Jabani reports.
Budget has many variants which has a direct link with the requirement as well as the purpose with an estimation of revenue and expenses over a specific future period, and is usually complied or re-evaluated periodically for a person, a group of people, government, or just about anything else that makes or spends money.
Reworking the economy requires a decision at doubling the economic growth of the nation every year. For Nigeria, if the population growth is at 4% and GDP growth at 1.7%, there will be a gap, and poverty will fill that gap.
The lead speaker, Chairman, Nigerian Prize for Leadership Finance and Funds Mobilization Committee, Senator Ibrahim Ida, who spoke extensively on the processes of budgeting in Nigeria, believes that the federal budget is national, while projects captured in a national budget are agreed upon by the legislature and the executive. The implementation is the function of the executive.
We do not have a concrete national plan that is drawn up on the basis of the reality of the situation, and that could be translated on a yearly basis with the national budgets.
On his part, Director General Budget Office of the Federation, the nation's budget is low in relation to its size and developmental challenges, while its current revenue generation must be sustained, as well as measures put in place to ensure full implementation.
A key source of independent revenues for the federal government is revenues generated by what we call is government-owned enterprises, the parastatals and other similar agencies. The federal government over the years has invested about 40 trillion naira cumulatively in these enterprises.
Other speakers say the need to take care of the nation's microeconomy is vital to the effort to create wealth, while the revenue to GDP ratio must not fall below the African average of 20%. Habban Jabani, NTA News.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Go TV Biggie Goals promo don't land. Better digging levels, better grooves, no hard at all on top Go TV. Make you not miss this awoof as Go TV price don't go down low for inside Biggie Goals promo. Now you fit get Go TV decoder, Go tenner with 1 month max subscription will be 9,500 naira before for 6,900 naira now. See discount. Make yourself enjoy football for inside your house. Cross your leg, watch BB Niger drama and shows for Africa Magic and international series them. Biggie Goals promo now for you. Better discount. Go get your own now for only 6,900 naira to enjoy max levels for Go TV. This offer no go to tell. Go TV. Love it.
And for the latest news trending in the world of sports, let's join Badi Adele. Hello, Badi.
Many thanks to my serious business tonight. Of course, the disqualification of 10 Nigeria track and field athletes at the Tokyo Olympics on Wednesday